So in this one, we're going to do a driving tour of Parrish, Florida. About 1 year ago, I did this and actually got some really good feedback on it. So we're going to continue. It's been about a year. We'll see what kind of progress Parrish has made over the last year. I just pulled out of Publix. Technically, we're in Palmetto. Right across the street, what you're looking at is the Baycare Medical Hospital that's being built right now. To the left, you've got I-75. Right there, you can see the bridge. That's I-75. So we are on I-75 and Moccasin Wallow Road. So the plan for this one, we're just going to drive up a few of the major roads, and I'm going to point out what Parish looks like, and then all the new changes that have occurred over the last year, starting with that. Again, that's your Baycare Medical Hospital. And what you're going to have over here is a huge hospital, 207 beds. You're going to have apartments that are coming up over here on the left. I think that's 600 units. And we're going to have medical offices that go up in here. So lots of new jobs are coming to Parish just by the way of that hospital and what the hospital is going to bring. So again, I believe that's 600 units. Huge apartment complex. Over to the right, we've got the start of Sierra. So off to the left, the apartments. To the right, this is the edge of Sierra. We'll see more of it here in a moment. Take note of all the road work, you guys. This is Moccasin Wallow. For the next couple of years, they're taking this from single lane each direction to 2 lanes each direction. So off to the right, you guys see Sierra. Actually, let me point this out. This is Home Depot that's coming in over here. They just started moving the dirt, so that's a good sign. And then on this side, on this side, we're going to have a CVS, a Panera Bread, Dutch Bros, Chick-fil-A. There's going to be another sit-down restaurant all within this area. And further back that way, I can't get a good view of it. We've got another rental complex of single-family dwellings. Here's Sierra. That's where the actual lagoon is going. It's right there, what I'm pointing at. And then along with Sierra and the lagoon that's supposed to open the next year, you're going to have an Aldi's, Texas Roadhouse, Glory Days, which is right there, your Circle K, Wendy's, Chipotle. There's a veterinarian that's going to go in there, AutoZone. And that's it over there. Off to the left, this is where our Walmart's going to go. They're not moving dirt on that yet. Or are we there? We're not there yet. Move up here. Here's your Del Webb. I'm going to show you. So Del Webb, Bayview, that's all sold out. We're still over here, Sierra to the side. This is all Sierra land. And these are for rent townhomes. So lots of rentals going up. And as we get up here a little bit further, I'm going to show you where the new Walmart is going in. Those are all for rent townhomes. Undeveloped land over here. And this is actually where I think the Walmart's going to go. It's going to be off on the raw land over there that they haven't moved any dirt on yet. At that Walmart, you're also going to have a car wash, a Whataburger, Culver's. There's going to be a bank. There's going to be a fast food place. Here's Bayside. It's a big mega church. This is one of their satellite locations. I didn't plan on doing this. We're going to turn left because Oakfield Trails just put in their new sign. I haven't seen that yet. Let's go see it. So this is brand new. They've been working on this for about a month. It's about 20 feet tall. The signs in these neighborhoods are bigger than life, so I assume that's going to be a waterfall or something at the taller part. That's looking very nice. We'll go up here, turn around. This is Oakfield Trails. Let's get back on Moccasin Wallow. So turning back onto Moccasin Wallow, there's Oakfield Trails and the big sign. You guys, again, take note. That's about 3 feet higher, so the amount of time they spend on developing these roads is insane. I'm used to Colorado Speed, where they'd get this done within a year, this whole stretch, and they've been working on this for 2 years. So I think we've got 2 more years before this entire roadway from where I started the video going all the way up to where we're going, where it's already been widened. We've got about 2 more years before that's complete. Here's Summerwoods. So Summerwoods is now built out. Back here you've got, who is that? KB Homes built. I cannot think of the name of the neighborhood. It's Sawgrass. And this neighborhood was recently completed by KB Homes, so that's now sold out. They're not building there anymore. This is still Summerwoods. Summerwoods is a very long neighborhood off to the right. Yeah, so they've been working on this road forever. Florida speed. When it comes to laying road in Florida, they take their time. The dirt and everything will just sit for a month or two, and then they'll make a little bit of progress. But it's a slow pace. So over here we just started North River Ranch. You can't see it behind those trees, but we just started North River Ranch. Now is the Brightwood side behind these trees where it gets a little bit thin. You've got some really beautiful homes by West Bay Homes. Here's Summerwood, so we're finally getting to the edge of Summerwoods on the other side. And in about a quarter mile, the road has already been widened. They completed this portion of the Moccasin Wallow road widening project about a year ago. And here we go. So Summerwood's the very edge of it. And you've got Harvey K8 Elementary. This is the K3 side over here. You can see it back there. And then over here starts North River Ranch and the one of the main entrances to that neighborhood. You've got an older neighborhood back there. It's not very old, but Copperstone is back behind Harvey K8. There's a berm in the way, so you can't see much of it, but there's Harvey K8. And Publix. This is all relatively new. Fifth and Third Bank. That all opened up a year ago, 2 years ago, depending on which restaurant or convenience or dental care, UPS store. So now we're at Fort Hamer and Moccasin Wallow. So at Fort Hamer and Moccasin Wallow, North River Ranch, that's where you're going to have your North River Village. It's in the planning now. It's actually going through county approval at the moment. That's where you're going to have your HCA hospital, 150-bed hospital, multi-family housing, townhomes and apartments back there. There's going to be 220,000 square feet of commercial space, 50,000 square feet of office space, medical offices, assisted living. There's going to be an assisted living facility over on this side, and then that's where we're going to have our bougie shops and restaurants. It's all coming in on that side of Moccasin Wallow. Over here on the right, the field, well, you've got these trees now, but where you see the clearing, I believe there's going to be more apartments go in here, especially on this side. And then 301's coming up, and I think the frontage on 301's going to have maybe a gas station or something like that. There's going to be something commercial that comes in there. So this is a roundabout. We're going to do a circle real quick because I want to point out this road, Moccasin Wallow, is going to keep going straight that way. It's going to curl around to a road called SR62. You guys, and this is going to be a huge development. We're going to have a sheriff's office back here. There's going to be tons of housing that goes in this way, some commercial land, some more shopping, but it's all going to curl around that way to SR62. And we'll do a circle, and then I'm going to bring you down. You know what? We're going to do a big circle from here and go up to a road called Buckeye, so I can show you where Firethorn's going up, or it's already being built in. I'll show you where Oakfield Lakes is, where Simply Dwell Homes has a new community, and then where the VA is building a big complex. So we're going to go this way about 5 miles, turn left, and then we'll start back up. I told you we'd turn this back on here at about 5 miles. We're less than a mile north. I want to show you HCA Florida. There's the ER that just went in. The hospital's going to go in over here. And then I'm going to cut out and start back up here in a second. Starting back up, I wanted to show you where Bella Lago is. So Bella Lago backs up to North River Ranch. Here's D.R. Horton's Bella Lago. And then here at about a mile, I'm going to show you where Lennar's Prosperity Lakes is. So before we get to Prosperity Lakes, that's Del Webb Explorer right there. North River Ranch. You guys, we're a couple miles up the road. North River Ranch continues right here. That'll be the last phase of North River Ranch. So you're going to have 2 access points to the Explorer. That'll be Moccasin Wallow and Fort Hamer in that area. And then off 301, you'll have the ability to get into that Explorer right there. Off to the right, I think this is Joe's Potato. I think all of that land was sold to the developer. I don't know for a fact. I mentioned the extension back there, Moccasin Wallow and 301, where Moccasin Wallow is going to connect with SR62. This land, some of that back there, was sold for that new development. Here's Lennar and Prosperity Lakes, right over here. And then here in about a half mile, start back up once we get on Buckeye Road. There's a lot going on Buckeye Road. So we're traveling northeast on 301, getting ready to turn on Buckeye. If you keep going that way, it's Sun City Center and then Riverview. And then this curls all the way around to Tampa, 301 does. So Buckeye Road, there wasn't a whole lot going on out here just a year ago, you guys. And this road is one of the up-and-coming roads in Parish, to say the least. You can see the flags up there on the right. That is Firethorn. So I'm going to show you this. Not much to see, but here's your main entrance. Really pretty entrance into Taylor Morrison's Firethorn. And off to the left, I told you we had driven by, well, let's see, quick glimpse at the plans for Firethorn. Off to the left, Prosperity Lakes. So this was here last year. I don't think we went down Buckeye Road, though. Now selling Firethorn. So this road, it looks like maybe they're going to start widening this pretty soon. This will be 2 lanes each direction here eventually. More Prosperity Lakes. Kind of a sketchy, narrow road. Lots of commercial vehicles drive down this road. So back here, this is all brand new. Simply Dwell Homes. This is a Neal community. Simply Dwell Homes is a doing business as, excuse me, it's all in the same family, Neal and Simply Dwell Homes. This is their smaller product. Don't know anything about that community yet. I will get you a video of that neighborhood when they're further along and when a model home goes up. Oh, my Tesla's going crazy. I want it to self-drive and it won't. Jones Potato. So Jones Potato owns a lot of land around here. And that's their big potato farm. Off to the left, we're approaching, oh man, these commercial vehicles. This guy's wide load. So Prosperity Lakes, 2 things I want to point out. Active adult community starts over here. And then Fort Hamer is going to connect through. So we've got Buckeye Road. That's what we're on. We started the video on Moccasin Wallow. That is Fort Hamer Road. So this road here is going to connect all the way down to the Publix in North River Ranch. So we're going to start back up here. We're going to pass Prosperity Lakes Active Adult Community on the left. We'll drive up about a mile, and then I'm going to show you where, maybe 2 miles, and I'm going to show you where Oakfield Lakes is in the other Oakfield Trails entrance. So we're about a mile up, and we're still, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile, still Prosperity Lakes. So that's Prosperity Lakes, open space on the right. You guys, before we got to Oakfield Trails, Oakfield Lakes, I wanted to point out that I just passed, and then we're going to come to a couple other spots where they're building. There's going to be a Walmart neighborhood grocery store. There's planned gas stations, all kinds of plans for commercial. Straight ahead, that's where we're going to have our VA center on the other side of the bridge. We're actually approaching I-75. I'll show you where that is before we turn around. But you've got a lot going on here. It doesn't look like it, because what I'm showing you is trees and whatnot, but there's actually a whole lot going on Buckeye Road. Okay, so I just drove about a half mile from the last point where I turned the camera off. This is Oakfield Lake. So this is where you have Centex, DR Horton, and a really nice neighborhood back there. Starlight Homes just started building in there. I actually just did a video for them. Off to the left, so we're at the point where you can't see it yet, but this is Oakfield Lakes land. Oakfield Lakes land on this side, Oakfield Trails land on that side, excuse me. And right along in here is where you're going to have some commercial. I think there's 2 schools planned for this road over the coming years. I don't have dates on that yet, but Oakfield Trails, Oakfield Lake, and that roadway right there that we just passed you guys, that will also connect to Moccasin Wallow Road. There's a cop car behind me. If I get pulled over, I'm not turning off the camera, but I think I'm swerving like I'm drunk. So I'm gonna turn the video off for a sec. I'm gonna show you where I-75 is. Starting the video, we're maybe a mile up, maybe 3/4 of a mile up from where I turned the video off. Turned it back off here for 2 points. Carter Road. So I don't know if you can see where that car just took a right onto Buckeye, but there's a road right there called Carter. That takes you down by Del Webb, Bayview, and that connects with Moccasin Wallow. So you've got another access point to get to Moccasin Wallow from here. And then here's the bridge. So we're crossing I-75 right now. They're planning on making an on-ramp, off-ramp to get onto the interstate from here. So this, you guys, this road is so overused at the moment. You get so much commercial that uses this road, and then some people use this road as a shortcut to get down to 41 or whatnot. But they're going to widen this road and then connect that to I-75. And I believe, what is it, Florida Department of Transportation is going to start that planning here this year. So we're going to turn around and start back up at 301. So now we're heading back south on 301. We came by this northbound. We're going south, southwest. You guys off to the right, that's where we're going to have our North River Ranch Village. Off to the left, that's where we're going to have the Moccasin Wallow extension. Again, it's going to be a huge area. 2,000 or 3,000 new homes are going up back there. Some more apartments, commercial, sheriff's office. Off to the right, I mentioned that. I believe it's going to be apartments over here. And then the frontage side is going to be some commercial. Coming up here on the left, so that's SR62. I told you how Moccasin Wallow is going to swing around and connect to SR62. Up here on the corner of 301 and 62, I don't think they're pushing dirt yet to start the development, but there's going to be a big retail center that goes up in there. It's going to be a grocery store, tractor supply company. Tractor Supply was supposed to build off of Fort Hamer and 301 in a development over there. They moved over here. There's going to be another big box retailer. Don't know who that is. There's going to be a gas station, a drugstore, a bank, sit-down restaurant, coffee shop, fast food. So this big corner over here on the left is where you're going to have a huge retail center over here. We've got our old school Parish General Supply. You guys, let's support our locally owned business as the Tractor Supply Company comes in at the new development. We got to support them. And then I'm debating if I want to turn this off or not, because up here, you guys, we're hoping to get a walkable downtown area. And from what I understand, the county wants to do it up here at Rutland and 301. So at Rutland and 301, or Rutland and 675, 301 and 675, or 301 and Rutland, it's the same road. Sorry about that. But they're attempting to make plans over here for a walkable downtown area. Restaurants, shops, high density apartments and condos. They're trying to figure out how to put in. Just showing you the area right now. We're pulling up on Rutland, aka 675. So the far corner, you've got the old gas station there, and then on the far corner, that's where they're trying to bring in infrastructure to make that a downtown area. Right now, I don't know, there might be electric run over there. I don't think there's any gas. I don't think there's any fresh water or sewer or anything. So once infrastructure goes in there, then hopefully we'll have a really cool place like Lakewood Ranch has, where people can hang out and entertain. Maybe some movie theaters will go in there. So coming down 301, here's our post office. Off to the right, off to the left, we have storage and a really cool restaurant if you like barbecue. Let's see if I can get it in frame. Can't think of the name of it right now, but I can't think of the name of it, but it's a really good restaurant. So this stoplight here, we're back at Fort Hamer, and I'll start the video back up here in a sec. Starting back up. You guys don't know, I just sat there for 3 minutes, but anyways, Fort Hamer, 301. So now we're heading more westbound for sure. 7-Eleven, there's a daycare center going up over there. You've got a Wendy's on this side. This is where the Tractor Supply was supposed to go. That was not there a year ago when I did this. And we're not going to drive too far down this way. There hasn't been any major changes. We're going to come up on 301 and Harrison Ranch Boulevard. That'll be off to the right. You've got new shops opening up there, a daycare center, casual sit-down restaurant, car wash, Manatee Memorial, ER, an emergency room's going to come in. I'm saying this all a little too early. We'll be there in a second, and there's going to be a Culver's, and I'll point that out in a minute. So Forest Creek, I've featured that neighborhood over there in one of my videos. Really nice neighborhood. Helped a client purchase a home in there. Really sweet couple. Let's keep going. Lexington, small old resale neighborhood. This Dunkin' Donuts and gas station, Daybreak, those are relatively new. There's a car wash up here that's relatively new. There's the rest of Lexington. Arby's. And at Chin Road, we've got an old Publix and a Chase Bank and some, I don't know, nail salon. Big shopping center over here to the left. So 301 keeps going straight, guys. Indefinitely. It seems like it goes forever, but it turns into Ellington. That's where you have your Ellington shops. 5 or 7 miles straight ahead, we've got another access point to get onto I-75. And here's Harrison Ranch. This is the new development I was talking about. Harrison Ranch Boulevard. Harrison Ranch, really nice resale neighborhood. So you've got your storage unit, Culver's. This was all built very recently. Silverleaf, I've mentioned Silverleaf in my videos. I've helped clients buy homes in there. Lots going on 301. Honest to goodness, I'm not sure. That looks like apartments, but I don't know what that is. You guys, I will leave the house, drive down a road that I haven't driven down for a week and stuff like that. I don't know what that is. It looks like apartments. So I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on here in a moment. And I'm going to show you Erie Road in 301, one of the major roads for Parish. Cruising down 301. Didn't plan on turning this back on, but more apartments maybe. Don't know. That's maybe a month or two old. I actually saw that probably a month or, two months ago. Creekside Preserve neighborhood. Now we're coming up on Erie. I'm going to come up here and do a U-turn, but this is where we have Lowe's, Marshalls, Home Goods, Aldi, Ulta, Mattress Firm. There's a dentist there. Good Liquor, Jersey Mike's Subs, Hungry Greek, Poke, First Watch, Five Guys, Kelly's Bar and Grill. And we'll turn around. I think what we're going to do is go back up to Fort Hamer and Moccasin Wallow. Then we'll do a U-turn and we'll come back down from there and go southbound. And I'll show you Fort Hamer. Heading back northbound, northeast on 301. You guys, I pointed out the commercial developments that are going up on this road. What I didn't point out were the neighborhoods. So we're coming back up on Rutland. Again, this is where our town center is going to be, hopefully. down Rutland, when you take a right here, that's where you have aviary. And Pulte has a new neighborhood going up down there. That'll be called Riversong. And then if you go that way about 5 miles, you come to a road called Rye Road. And that's where you have the neighborhoods of Legacy Preserve and Rye Ranch, a couple D.R. Horton and Lennar neighborhoods. And then I'll turn this back on here in a moment once we get further up the road. And I'll point out one other road with more neighborhoods. So coming up at the next light is going to be 62, SR 62. I've mentioned that a few times in this video. That's where the extension is from Moccasin Wallow. Anyways, 62, if you turn right at this light, this coming up, you guys, that'll take you out to Crosswind Ranch, Crosswind Point, and the new Del Webb neighborhood. Salt Meadows is also out there. So I'm going to turn left. But if we went right up that way, that's what's going on up there. That'll take you clear out to Huachachula, Los Primos Restaurante, and then Parish. The sun's in the way, so I don't know if you can see that, but people will commonly use the side of that building, the artwork for their YouTube videos. Bring you through here. Just do this, you guys, to show you this is kind of what any road in Parish can look like. Basically, what I've shown you is a few of the major roads. As you get further into the country, and directly behind me is the country, then you'll find a whole lot of this. And let's start up at Fort Hamer and Moccasin Wallow, and then we'll go southbound on Fort Hamer. All right, so now we are crossing Moccasin Wallow and Fort Hamer. North River Ranch is behind us. Here's the Publix. We drove past that. North River Ranch is also in front of us to the left. David Weekly's over there, along with Cardell. Each of them they're just about to wrap up the neighborhood. Well, Riverfield side of the neighborhood. They're also building back deeper into North River Ranch. There's the Riverfield veranda, swimming pool. So we're coming up on Erie Road, you guys, at that stoplight. If I turn right, that'll take us down to the Lowe's, or bring us down to 301, where Lowe's and Marshall's, Crunch, I don't think I said Crunch, Aldi's, and then that'll also bring us down to a road called Erie. That's where Buffalo Creek Middle School is. This road is where Bradenton Christian is going to build a private school, and then there's two charter schools going up along Erie Road. Erie connects with Sierre, the neighborhood of Sierre. And off to the right, can't see it, but that's Parish Community High School. Off to the left, I'll try to get you a better view of that, is Parish Community Park. That opened up this year. Very popular, very, very popular park. And these fields over here right now, it's used for parking for the park. That's all going to be soccer and baseball fields. Big soccer and baseball complex is going to go in there. So this road, this will be your drop-off road to get into Parish Community High School. That's the football stadium lights. Try to give you that view. So Fort Hamer, you guys, we're going down southbound Fort Hamer. We're gonna hit and cross over 301. I'll show you that. You already saw that, but just for frame of reference, I'll show you that. This road goes all the way south into Lakewood Ranch. So a lot of people love to entertain, eat, go to the movies, and then do stuff down in Lakewood Ranch. This will be our main road to get there. So after we get up to the light, I'll turn this back on and show you what's going on along Fort Hamer. So still southbound Fort Hamer, now crossing 301 off to the right. Showed you the storage units that are going in. Wendy's is over there. There's also a Wawa's going up right on the corner. There's going to be a Panda Express and a Walgreens also all going in over here. I think this is an AutoZone that's going in. I'm not sure. This is called Fort Hamer Crossing. So give you a look. We're going to have some neighborhoods that pop up here real soon. North River Church off to the side, relatively new. Not super new, but got some old farmhouses And then the neighborhoods start again. Golf Course Road. So Windwater, Mattamy Homes. Mattamy is also building in Crosswind Ranch. And off to the left, you guys, at Golf Course Road. So if we turned left, that's where Canoe Creek is. And that's where Coulter Home builds down that way, along with Neil. You've got the Twin Rivers neighborhood where you can have some, oops, I just bumped the microphone, where you can have fully custom homes built and on 1.5 acre lots. The Laurels is on the left, and the Willows back behind the field, and that's where Medallion, wow, all you can see is cars right now, but Medallion Homes is building off to the left. I'll show you that here in a minute. Not much to see through all the thicket, but I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on as we get a little further down the road to show you there's even nice custom homes built along this stretch here. Old Tampa Road. So this road, if you turn right, will take you back up to 301 over by Lowe's. Off to the left, you've got Cross Creek and Medallion's building $1 million to $2 million homes back there on 1/2 acre lots. Really, really pretty neighborhood. And not a whole lot going on because of traffic. I'll start you back up in a sec. Just drove, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 mile. So all this traffic that we came upon, let me watch the traffic. You've got Annie Lucy Williams Elementary School off to the left. Really high rated school, elementary school. I don't know if you can see that behind the sun, but when they build sidewalks over the kind of the wetlands, then you get really pretty elevated decking. And you guys, I'm going to turn this back on up here. I think we're going to cap off this video maybe just a couple miles down the road, because we're going to come to the edge of Parish. We're going to end at the bridge in the river, Manatee River, and the bridge that takes us over to Bradenton, and then from Bradenton into Lakewood Ranch. So well, let me point this out. So you've got Mulholland Road straight ahead, and Mulholland, you turn left, and then you've got some really pretty resale neighborhoods down there. And I've done some videos when I do my Parish real estate market videos. I'll go down there and borrow a bridge that goes over Manatee River and kind of use the river as a backdrop. Kids are all getting off school, walking home from Annie Lucy Williams. So yeah, let's go down to the river and we'll sign off from down there. Turning the video back on, maybe a 1/2 mile from where I just ended it. You guys, off to the left, we've got a new park, new Parish Park. You've got volleyball pits, and then there's a pump park over there. So the pump park has been hot property. It opened up over Christmas break, and pretty much every single kid in Parish was over at the pump park, including Easton, my son. He was down there. I cannot remember the name of this neighborhood. High end, top dollar. The islands, these properties down here all back up to the river. Not all of them, but top dollar. Some of which are multi-million-dollar homes. Fort Hamer Park, Fort Hamer Boat Ramp. I have used this spot in many of my videos. You can see the river down there between the trees. I'll take you right down to the boat ramp. I don't think this Tesla can swim, so we'll stop right here. As always, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. If you have any questions about Parish and the real estate market here in Parish, please reach out.